Maritano is one of the physically fit, and right there, Briscoe. Mark Briscoe's walking away from the ring.
He's walking away from his own brother.
And Jay seems to be a little bit confused. And Maritano capitalizes right there, hits the kiss of death. An easy 3 count after the kiss of death, and Mark seems almost ecstatic. He seems overjoyed.
Come on, Jay, let's go. Ride's leaving.
Mark, what's your problem? Why the hell are you laughing?
Your match, you lost again. You can't touch me, Jay. This is Pennsylvania. I ain't 18 years old. You'll lose your wrestling license. You know something, Mark? Next month, Ring of Honor is going to be in Boston. There is no commission up there, Mark. You don't have to worry about your license. I can touch you all I want up there, Mark. I'm challenging you right now, August 24th, Boston. Me versus you. Hey, you just lose again.
With a 45-minute time limit. And his opponent, weighing in 200 pounds, from Southern Delaware, Jay Briscoe.
Steve Carino, this is one match that I've been waiting for very anxiously over the last few months. The Briscoe brothers, Mark and Jay, set to do battle here on the ground of Beantown. As you know, Jay Briscoe has had a losing streak here at ROH, while his brother Mark has sat back and made fun of his older brother. And Jay has said, enough is enough. Let's settle it here tonight in Beantown. Let's get it on one-on-one, mano-a-mano, brother to brother, and what a way to start the match.
Yeah, we got a sibling rivalry here in Boston, Massachusetts, as Mark and Jay Briscoe are finally going to see who is the best Briscoe. As many people know, at 17 years old, Mark Briscoe cannot wrestle in the state of Pennsylvania because of the State Athletic Commission. And I think, in my opinion, Mark's a little jealous because Jay, the spotlight's on Jay. A lot of people are calling Jay, you know, a future superstar here at Ring of Honor. And, you know, Mark wants to be a future superstar, too. And so when he had the opportunity to come to Boston and the State Athletic Commission would let him wrestle, he wanted to wrestle his older brother. He wanted to prove that he was the best. And he's been taunting him over the last few months. We've seen it, Donnie B. Mark Briscoe's been taunting Jay. Every time Jay loses, Mark laughs. Every time Jay wins, Mark gets really hot. So it's an amazing sibling rivalry here, and hopefully they can work it out because I think they have the potential to be one great tag team.
Mark Briscoe and Jay trading a vicious series of reversals. Right now, Jay on top of Mark into a sleeper-type maneuver with the legs locked around his younger brother. Take that, younger brother, if you will. Jay Briscoe has a lot to prove here to everybody, but mostly to his younger brother, that you don't talk crap on the older brother. That's one of the perennial rules, Steve Carino. And right now, younger brother Mark has what appears to be a very painful submission hold on Jay.
Wait a second, Donnie, you don't talk crap on your brother?
Yes, I do, Steve Carino.
So do I. It's one of the most fun things I do during my day. But Jay's had a tough time in Ring of Honor, losing more than he's won. But at only 18, he's gained some great experience. I'm sure Jay would love to end his losing ways and shut his brother up here tonight in Boston. But you know what? Both these kids have a great future ahead of them. Mark at 17, Jay at 18. These kids are way before their time. When most kids are thinking about high school, the prom, you know, trying to get to third base with their girlfriend, or in your brother's sense, or boyfriend. These guys are thinking about how to become the best professional wrestler that they can be. And, you know, it's an honor for them to compete in Ring of Honor at such a young age. So, you know, they have the sibling rivalry, but they also have a lot of honor and pride at stake here, too.
Jay Briscoe with the modified STF there on brother Mark. Mark rolls through, has the arm lock right now on Jay, working the upper body, working the arm. Jay rolls through, nice arm drag takedown on Jay by Mark Briscoe. Jay reverses the full Nelson. Mark reverses another duck underneath. Jay Briscoe and fireman's carry on Mark. Has the armbar right now on younger brother Mark. And this match has been very even so far, Steve. Obviously, and this is a very obvious point, Steve, these two men know each other extremely well. They've grown up together. They've known each other their whole lives. Nice cartwheel roll through by Mark. Back again with the arm twist. Mark down, Jay up in the middle of the ring. Leg dive, takedown. Mark shoots Jay off into the ropes. Jay up and over on Mark. Jay stops, puts the brakes on, says, Nice knife edge to his brother Mark. Another knife edge right to Mark. Mark into the ropes right now. Off the ropes, up and over on Brother Jay. Brother Jay with a hip toss. Mark lands on his feet. Big haymaker misses. Off the ropes, duck underneath. Nice northern suplex by Mark Briscoe on Jay. Almost had a surprise 3 count there, Steve. And I think Jay is a little hesitant.
Donnie B, you know what surprises me about the Briscoes?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, he got cocky.
Look at that. That's disrespectful.
It's definitely disrespectful, but you know what surprises me? The kids at 18 and 17 years old, the amount of knowledge they have of chain wrestling is way beyond their years. It takes guys at least 3 to 5 years of intense training to learn the moves that these 2 kids have right now. These 2 are naturals, and you know, Mark is a little cocky, Jay very humble, but you know what? These 2 are unbelievable athletes, and they're putting on one hell of a match right now.
Well, as you saw right there, as both men went for the test of strength, I think Mark did something very clever, Steve. He knows that Jay is bigger and stronger, so what did he do? He took the leverage advantage, and it paid off right there. A big shoulder tackle by Jay. Mark down in the middle of the ring. Thus far, you'd have to give the strength advantage to Jay, but the quickness I would have to give to Mark, which makes this pretty even. Duck under, whip into the ropes. Jay off the ropes. Mark misses the right. Big Yakuza kick right to Mark, and Mark down and outside the ring, taking a much-needed breather right now.
And Donnie B, I've just been handed this. Jay Briscoe is signed to wrestle the Amazing Red in a rematch of their Era of Honor Begins Classic on Ring of Honor's next video release to be taped Saturday night, September 21st in South Philadelphia. Can Jay even the score? Also on that videotape, it will feature an 8-team tag team tournament to determine the first Ring of Honor tag team champions. You can get the tape or DVD or both at rfvideo.com or by calling the office at 215-891-9404 for over 5,000 videotapes, RF Video, or check out ROHWrestling.com for more information on upcoming shows and everything that's going on here at Ring of Honor.
Right now, Mark Briscoe outside the ring in full control of his brother Jay. Steve Corino, if you ask me, this has been a match for the ages. These 2 brothers have given it all there thus far, and I cannot believe the absolute brutality that Mark has inflicted upon his brother Jay.
Oh, right into the ring post. Oh my God! Did you see his head pop off the pole?
Jay, get up!
And Mark just, you know,
adding
berating his brother right now.
In a despicable fashion. Mark Briscoe hovering over the body of Jay Briscoe, yelling at him, taunting him. Get up, Jay. Get up. Let's finish this once and for all. This is disgusting, Steve Corino, that one brother could do this to another.
Oh, wait a second.
Oh, Jay Briscoe has been and look at that. Look at the haynility of that act, Steve Corino. Mark Briscoe not showing any remorse at all. Busting open his own flesh and blood, making the wound even more severe than it is, Steve Corino. That's disgusting. Steve Corino, there's no place for that in ROH, and there's no place for that at the Briscoe Diner.
You know, I followed the career of the Briscoe brothers over the last few years. This is the first time Jay Briscoe has even been busted open, and Mark is taking full advantage of it, Donnie B. He's trying to open that cut up on his brother. I can't even believe it. Here's a guy, his own flesh and blood, and all he's caring about is drawing the blood of his own brother. What is Mark Briscoe's thinking right there and over the head? Belly to belly suplex. Maybe he's thinking he's got to not only beat his brother, but he's got to humiliate them. You know, I don't really have a brother that has been in professional wrestling, so I don't know what it is to have a sibling rivalry of a person that you share a common bond with. But this is an amazing match here we got right here. But I think Mark Briscoe is too intense. He's not thinking of the big picture. The big picture should be winning this match and going on to eventually be in title contention for the Ring of Honor Championship belt. But Mark Briscoe is looking for revenge, but for what reason?
As you see the life plasma flow from the head of older brother Jay Briscoe, you have to say to yourself, Steve Corino, as Mark punches the wound even further open, you have to say to yourself, this has gone way beyond sibling rivalry. Steve, this is out and out debauchery. This is almost illegal. Jay Briscoe at the hands of Mark Briscoe has been busted open.
Oh, right at the top of the head.
Well-placed thrust kick right to the top of the head of Jay. Well-placed, I say, because Jay knew exactly what was coming. Mark Briscoe hit that right on the mark. Mark and continues to bust open older brother Jay. Steve, like I said, this is way beyond sibling rivalry.
And he's going after the cut. He's going after the top of the head. The spin kick hit him in the top of the head where the cut was made. He's punching him in the head where the cut was made. It's unbelievable the determination that Mark Briscoe has right there on his brother. He's making his brother even uglier right now.
I didn't know that was possible, Steve Carino, but Mark Briscoe right now pounding away in the already injured forehead of Jay Briscoe in the corner. Knife edge to the throat of Jay. Jay Briscoe is in a world of hurt right now, Steve Carino. He needs to dig down deep. He needs to realize that he's in the ring with not his younger brother, but an opponent. He needs to get on track. He needs to start dishing out some punishment to Mark.
I think that's what Jay Briscoe was thinking in the beginning few minutes. This is his brother. This is his bone, flesh, and blood. And did you see his neck twist? That's dangerous. That DDT that Mark Briscoe actually held on to, much like Shinya Hashimoto does in Japan, which makes it even more devastating. Too many wrestlers let go of the DDT to have a real effective DDT. You hold on to it so your opponent's head smacks off the mat.
One of those headstand DDTs right there. Jay Briscoe up, stomps the right hand of Mark Briscoe. Very sound strategy, Steve. That right hand has done considerable damage to the fleshy forehead of Jay Briscoe. And if he can't use that right hand to form a fist, he can no longer inflict punishment on that open wound as Jay Briscoe hits the fallout driver right there on younger brother Mark Briscoe. Jay seems to have turned the tide as he once again stomps on the hand, softening up the knuckles and the wrist of Mark Briscoe. Jay Briscoe ascending to the top rope right now. Mark shoots out the right leg. Mark Briscoe takes brother Jay Briscoe up on the top rope. Paul Turner yelling at Mark Briscoe, telling him maybe even to ease up a bit, Steve. This is a little bit too graphic for brothers. And Jay Briscoe shoots Mark off the top rope.
Springboard ace crusher right there. That's gotta be it.
Beautiful maneuver there by Mark Briscoe on brother Jay. Jay's got to have that blood in the eyes. This could be it. Oh, only a 2 count, Steve. He's got to have that blood in the eyes, that sweat. He can't possibly be able to see as clear as Mark, and Mark is capitalizing on that. Right there you saw, maybe if his eyes were clear, he would have seen that coming from the left side, but he has absolutely no vision to the left, no vision to the right. That blood is in the eyes, and there's no possible way he can see as clear as Mark. Mark Briscoe, 2 nice knee drops to the head, capitalizing on the fact that that right hand has been damaged. He's now using his knee to soften up the head of brother Jay.
And Donnie B, I don't know if you've ever bled in the ring, but I've bled plenty of times. And the first few times that you bleed, it's a very scary moment. You kind of get used to it over the career, but those first couple times, your heart pounds. It's an anxiety because you don't know if this blood's going to stop. You don't know how deep the cut is going to be. You don't know how to work around it. And that's what Jay Briscoe must be thinking now, because this is the first time he's bled. This kid's played football at Laurel High School in Delaware. This kid's done everything, but he's never bled from the forehead in a professional wrestling match. And bleeding from the forehead and actually wrestling for another few minutes is very dangerous. And you know, when the heart's pounding, your mind's off. When your heart's pounding, you're not breathing right. When you're not breathing right, you're blown up. And you're not going to be able to do your high-impact maneuvers that a Jay Briscoe's used to doing. That's where Mark Briscoe could take a great opportunity. Springboard into a leg screw there. Unbelievable comeback right there by Jay Briscoe.
Nice dragon screw there by Jay Briscoe, thus negating any more aerial offense by his brother Mark, hoping to cut out the legs of Mark, hoping to get Mark down to a horizontal base where he can probably apply one of those submission holds, possibly even set him up for the Jay Driller. Jay Briscoe putting his brother Mark up on the top rope right now. Steve, I've said it once, I've said it before, this has gone way beyond sibling rivalry. Right now you see Jay getting a little more flustered, a little more heated as he drop kicks Mark Briscoe, who's hung up in that tree of woe right in the face in the corner.
Yeah, I think they've forgotten that these guys are brothers. These guys are just competing. An unbelievable went from the torture rack into a backbreaker. Did you see Mark Briscoe's back twist? That was dangerous. It looks like Jay Briscoe setting up for a lariat into an exploder suplex.
Nice exploder suplex by Mark Briscoe. Brother Jay feeling the brunt of it on the head and shoulders. Outside the ring right now. Mark inside the ring. Brother Jay hoping to catch a little bit of a breather. Maybe wipe some of that blood and sweat out of the eyes. But Mark says, no way, brother. Sorry about that. Oh, and he goes up
right on the knee.
springboard. but that knee that was worked on so cleverly by Jay just a few moments ago has seemed to have given out on Brother Mark.
Oh, and it gave Jay extra time to recuperate. When Mark went to go over the top rope again, Jay wasn't there. Mark's on the floor, hurt knee, hurt elbows. Now the tide has turned. Mark's in control, and I'm sorry, Jay's in control. Mark's in trouble, but Mark there with a textbook arm to the clown.
Low blow by Mark Briscoe, pounding in the forehead by Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe has forgotten that he is fighting his brother Jay in the ring tonight, and he thinks to himself he's going to pull out all the stops as he clutches that right knee. He doesn't care if he blows that right knee out. Mark Briscoe has one goal in mind, Steve Corino. Successful debut here in ROH. That's the only thing on this young man's mind. Only a 2 count there. Paul Turner lets us know. Very close to a 3 as Mark clamps on the side lock sleeper right there. Jay Briscoe's in a lot of trouble, Steve. That blood keeps flowing. Mark Briscoe right now standing up with the headlock. Jay shoots out of it with a couple of forearms. Jay off the ropes, ducks the clothesline. Mark up and over, big clubbing forearm to Jay Driller. Look, Jay Driller. Uh-oh. Mark countering the Jay Driller up and over the shoulder. Mark Briscoe 2 kicks. Jay Briscoe once again looking for that Jay Driller. Drop Mark right on the spine. Nice power bomb by Jay Briscoe. Both Briscoe brothers down in the middle of the ring. And Steve, this is a battle to see who can get to their feet first.
This is a classic battle. You've seen classic battles between brothers before, but never like this. The Briscoes are giving the fans of Ring of Honor their whole money's worth in one match. The Briscoe brothers feud here has cultivated in Beantown. This is great. The intensity of Mark Briscoe, I think it's because he knows he's in there with his brother and he's got something to prove. Who's the best Briscoe? The tenacity of Jay Briscoe. This match is unbelievable.
Steve Corino as Jay Briscoe hooks in the suplex. You have to wonder to yourself, this isn't just a few months of animosity. This is a lifetime of animosity as we see a German suplex by Mark on Jay, but only a 2 count. You've got to wonder to yourself, how was it growing up in the Briscoe household? These 2 men must have been struggling their whole lives. Mark living in the shadow of Jay for who knows how long, Steve. Who got the cooler Halloween costumes? Who got the better Christmas gifts? Who got the more portions at dinner time? We don't know what exactly is transpiring.
Oh,
as we
beautiful
see a
dragon
nice full
suplex.
Nelson Dragon suplex there. Steve Corino, these seeds have been planted way before these 2 men stepped in ROH. These seeds have been planted many, many years ago, and right now Mark seems to be on the receiving end of all the punishment Jay has dished out, but he keeps coming back. He's got something to prove, Steve. Beautiful. Fisherman Buster suplex.
A beautiful Fisherman Buster suplex on the back of the neck, top of the shoulders of Jay Briscoe. Mark Briscoe going up top now.
Mark Briscoe up to the top rope. Jay in the middle of the ring as Mark clutches the leg, goes for the moonsault. That extra second that he took attending to that injured knee was all Jay needed to hit that flying, powerful lariat right there. And Mark is down, Jay Briscoe up. Jay Briscoe scoops up Death Valley driver, hooks in the leg tight, 1-2, only a 2 count, Steve. I thought perhaps we had a 3 count there. Jay's in disbelief. He can't believe that his younger brother Mark kicked out of that Death Valley driver.
And look at the people here in Wakefield, Massachusetts, up off their feet. Could we have another Match of the Year candidate? Could Mark Briscoe be a Match of the Year candidate in his Ring of Honor debut? Unbelievable. This match is great. The fans of Boston really showing their appreciation.
Both men went for their finishing maneuvers. Mark countered the Jay Driller. Jay was able to counter the cutthroat driver. Jay Briscoe hit what appeared to be one of those Emerald Fusion type drops in the middle of the ring on Mark. Jay Briscoe is sending the top rope right now, perhaps trying to finish Mark off once and for all. Bombs away, senton back suplex, but he missed Steve Corino. He missed the back senton. Oh! Climbing Shining Wizard there by Mark Briscoe right into the mush of Jay Briscoe. Jay right now in a world of hurt. Cutthroat driver.
Oh, but they dropped him on his head. He dropped him on his head. This could be it. Mark Briscoe wins in his debut. Mark Briscoe has beaten his older brother Jay Briscoe here, Ring of Honor in Boston, Massachusetts. He has proven that he can beat his own brother.
And Steve Corino, I think we've just witnessed it. I think we have another Match of the Year candidate. Mark Briscoe versus Jay Briscoe. Another Match of the Year candidate at ROH.
Absolutely.
1-0, Jay. I'm 1-0 in Ring of Honor. You think about that, brother?